What's good, YouTube? Trizzy Gang in the hood. Trizzy Gang was good, family. Now listen, we got a kinda crazy video for today. Y'all see the title, y'all know what I mean? Y'all see the title, bro. Where are corn stars today? Cause y'all know if y'all say that P word, that's probably your channel right there. You feel me? But we finna check this out by Moon. Saw it on my timeline. I'm like, you know, that's probably be a funny, entertaining video to get into, especially out to my males out there. You know what I'm saying? It's probably be a little entertaining video for y'all. You know what I mean? If you grew up like that, you know. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. Finna see what this talking about though. Shout out Moon. We got where are the corn stars today? You know what I'm saying? I'll let y'all know. You know what I'm saying? I'll try to say as best as I can because that's kind of confidential. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of folks who watch me. You know what I'm saying? That I just gotta be careful. You feel me? But we finna check it out. Shout out Moon. Road to 10K. If you're new, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you know when I post a new video. All my socials will be in the description down below, man. So make sure y'all go follow all my socials. I gotta get more active with my TikTok again, but we still going crazy over there. My Instagram, I'm about to start posting like crazy. Y'all know my birthday is in November. I'm a Scorpio. I will be uploading my first picture on Instagram for since a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? On my birthday or my birthday weekend or something like that. And then from there on out, bro, y'all gonna get nothing but straight heat from me on my Instagram because, bro, these cats out here thinking they me when it comes to Instagram and the fits and everything, bro. They not. They're not me. They're not. They my sons. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna remind folks again. You feel me? But anyways, please straight to this man. Let's see what this talking
A
about.
disturbing pattern has emerged in the adult film industry. Young stars with their whole lives ahead of them have drifted off the rails, gone missing, or even died. With at least 5 of these tragedies in the past 3 months,
There was a few that passed away.
wrong within the industry to lead to this? And how is this industry destroying society as a whole? Well, let's find out where these formerly acclaimed adult film stars are today. You see, Emily Willis was
I don't know
one of
what
the
that
few
is.
examples of a success story in adult film, and her early life reads like the dream of anyone looking to make their way into the industry. While details about her life are shaky, it seems like lots of stars, she began with nothing. Growing up in a small village in Utah.
I can't stand, bro. I'm sorry, I had to put it in the fast mode. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Moon, 100%. Shout out Moon. But these certain videos like Sunny V2, bro, I be having to speed it up, bro. I can't take the accent, bro. I be having to speed it up, man.
Profile during high school, moving out to San Diego to try and build a life for herself. But after some short-lived jobs in sales that didn't work out, Emily was broke. She had no money and nothing to do, all whilst living in one of the most expensive places in America. But then suddenly, at the age of 18, Emily was swiping through Tinder, matching with different guys, until she would meet a man called Andre Garcia, who she began to date shortly after. But this was far from any fairy tale romance story, and it wasn't just a regular date, because Garcia is now known as one of the most infamous men behind girls. A sinister website that is just one of many tube sites online. Garcia and his colleagues would trick and coerce women into appearing in adult videos, which they told them would only ever be sold as DVDs outside.
So he got her into
Sometimes they would offer young girls work as models, only to later force them into doing nude videos instead. They even hired another young woman to convince potential victims to go along with it, figuring that would seem more trustworthy. Emily was just one of the many girls they exploited, but her story went much further than most of the others. Her videos proved immensely popular on the site, and soon enough, she was receiving offers from all sorts of different producers to star in their videos. It wasn't always easy.
Hey, comment down below if you ever seen any of her. You know,
and it completely destroyed their family relationship for years, as you can imagine.
I ain't gonna lie.
It seemed like everything was going well.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Homie right here. I be seeing this thing in every fucking video. Real talk.
As you can imagine, but on the surface, it seemed like everything was going well. This is how the industry tricks women into joining it in the first place, and how it tricks young men into thinking it's acceptable to watch. Everything seems great on the surface, until you find out very nasty, sinister side of the industry nobody wants you to know.
Oh, nah.
Emily would soon find out. After this, Emily would soon star in over 700 films over the course of her career, for which she won multiple awards and became one of the most popular actresses on the internet. But more than that, Emily even began making a career outside of the industry, and branched out into other online spaces. She even went on the Sidemen's real-life Tinder videos, which gained over 56 million views. But behind the scenes of all these vlogs, all of these videos, all of this money and fame, was a gnawing mental health problem, a nagging voice inside of her. You see, Emily was dealing with terrible addiction problems. Surrounded by young people working for fast money, it's inevitable that these people will encounter drugs at some point. But eventually, the lifestyle of being in this industry and being swept into this line of work got far too much for her to bear, and so she retired from making videos at just 23 years old.
Damn.
But the damage it did was starting to take a toll, as unfortunately the downward spiral that industry sent her into couldn't be reversed. And 2 years later, on February the 5th of 2024, everything changed, and when Emily was tragically admitted to critical care at a
heart attack,
suffering from a heart attack just a week after entering a rehab facility. This happened because she had overdosed, which put her in a coma for 2 months. And despite waking up recently, doctors don't believe she'll ever fully recover. but hopefully she does. And now this might seem like a very tragic but isolated incident. However, unfortunately, it's an increasingly common story within the industry. You see, of course, we all know these sites, the people making these videos, and the production companies behind them are always exploitative. Young, unstable people looking for quick money can use it as a crutch to support a fast lifestyle. Instant fame, success, and money and validation that destroys you morally later on. Meanwhile, there's plenty of people and companies eager to exploit their fleeting popularity before moving on.
But he got his arm over
with the rise of the internet and the
or
massive explosion of tube sites, it's all gotten so much.
That's the nigga that does the podcast with Jake Paul. He used to be with her or something? He has whole arm over her and shit.
Empowerment for the performers in the videos, but in actuality, they've only made things far more competitive and cutthroat for people looking to enter the industry. The sheer amount of choice in videos on these platforms mean women rarely get a chance to make a name for themselves. The majority star in just 2 or 3 videos before giving it up. For the little pay they do receive, they've traded their privacy and their dignity. The videos they are in rarely get removed from the internet and stick around forever as they get uploaded over and over again, showing one of the most intimate acts to the entire world repeatedly for an audience of millions. However, for the majority of performers,
the whole world to see, bro,
there are a few people who have a different story. One of them is the infamous Mia Khalifa.
Mia Khalifa, everybody know who this is.
Child and moving to the United States. Khalifa's life was relatively ordinary at first. After graduating high school, she went to college to study art.
Wait. So did homegirl, did she pass away? Y'all let me know in the comments, man. That would be kind of crazy.
The model on the side. But when she was 21,
excuse me if she did, man, and I didn't catch that.
Films, which almost overnight brought her huge fame and success, if you want to put it that way.
I am just loving the success and loving everything that I've gotten because of it.
And I say that because the way she gained fame and success was probably done in one of the worst ways possible. You see, in one of her first videos, Khalifa and her co-star were wearing hijabs, and that became its whole own news story. Death threats.
That's fucked up, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Across the Middle East, while news outlets like CNN and the Washington Post,
because you're mocking it, man,
instantly made her a household name. And overnight, she became the most searched for name on the most popular websites. Mrs. time in the industry was short, and she clearly got the paycheck she was looking for. Despite saying that she was only paid $12,000 over the course of her career, the companies who made the news have said that it was at least 10 times that much. But even in this best case scenario of becoming the most popular star around in just a few
everybody knows she is just off her name.
A bunch of regrets. She's described how difficult it has been to shake this reputation, to find a regular job, or to ever be taken seriously.
I would say that if I had never met that person, I never would have done the things that people know me for doing, and I could have just been living life normally, making $18 an hour, hopefully.
But you can't feel too sorry for her. I mean, it's hard to distance yourself from the industry that brought you your fame, especially when you're still using the same false name that most people know you by. Her criticism of the industry rings hollow when she still runs an OnlyFans and profits off of the fame she made from it. Simply working as an actor in any way in the industry has permanent consequences, even with all of the fame and money that Mia got from her.
So she don't regret nothing, bro. She still got the OnlyFans.
All of the content that
she's still doing this shit
today. For most actresses and actors, though, they get far less money and fame and still have to deal with all of the same content.
Bella Danger? What y'all know about Bella Danger, though? What y'all know about Bella Danger? Hey, bro, I just want to say to y'all, we grown over here now. We don't really, you know what I'm saying, partake in activities like this. You know what I mean? But what y'all know about Bella Danger? Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Consequences.
I think his name was like Kaylee or something like that.
Lives by appearing on podcasts. They have to get real jobs. Something that a career in the industry makes a lot harder if it ever gets out. There are other problems that such a career can make for you, even though society is still squeamish about discussing it. Studies have shown time and time again that for many people out there, having a large number of partners before marriage can sometimes make it more likely that you will actually get divorced. Of course, this is an ironclad rule.
That's how I feel. I ain't gonna lie.
Determines your future,
sorry,
but it is still a social pattern. Even taking in Mia Khalifa's string of divorces into account seems to prove the point, especially if you have this content out there on the internet. I mean, commodifying your past relationships and selling intimacy as a product is always going to be worse for your future happiness, and especially terrible if you ever get married and the guy finds out. Even though this is a harsh truth for serial dating that society expects and celebrates today, it doesn't make it any less true. It's less clear whether simply watching adult films has the same effect though. We at least know that it can have a negative effect for people already in serious relationships. Whether it makes a difference beforehand is still kind of up in the air, but you can imagine it probably would. But as we'll soon find out, this may be the least concerning problems that people in the industry face. It can be easy to focus solely on women in the industry. It's inevitably what most of the actual films are focused on. They're the big names that draw the biggest audiences, but tons of the same problems that women face are equally challenging for men as well.
Rob me!
To begin with,
Rob
the
me!
industry is more harder than you'd think. The pressures to perform under harsh lighting for hours at a time isn't something that most people could ever deal with. The use of performance enhancers like Viagra is so widespread it's almost expected. But those who can deal with the pressure and make a name for themselves can often have far longer careers than women, starring in lots of videos. Bill Bailey was one of these men, appearing in over 2,000 videos across his career.
Hey, bro. If you know who this is, you know who it is, bro. He up there with what's his name, Johnny?
Lifestyle. And it was this fight that would lead to Bill's tragic death. You see, whilst attending the Industry Expo in early March of 2019, people reported seeing Bill drinking heavily throughout the day. Later that night, while staying on a fourth floor apartment with his girlfriend, Bill fell over the handrail of his balcony and plummeted 4 stories to the ground. And local reports claimed that he was involved in some kind of argument before the incident, but authorities ruled that there was no foul play involved. Obviously, though, male stars working within the industry are a very small group compared to all of them affected by it. However tragic the performances still can be, the real changes to society come from mass consumption by the audience and the effects it has on them.
Damn, rest in peace, homie, bro.
That addiction and addictive behaviors cause fundamental negative changes to the brain. Studies on addictive drugs show damage to the frontal lobes from sustained use. It isn't just the substances themselves. Even in people with addiction to food, we see the same degradation and loss of brain matter. These changes are clear through people's behavior, as well as through an MRI machine. Addicts are more likely to show poor judgment towards their own actions and the consequences that come with them. They lose their willpower and their ability to resist these addictions. They become more impulsive and emotionally unstable. We now understand that addiction seems to replace that reward system in our brains used to regulate normal life. They get hijacked, redirecting your own ambition for success and happiness towards the focus of the addiction. These addictions and the negative effects they have are exactly the same for sexual activity and the consumption of adult material. The content offers an alternative to a fulfilling, healthy life in connections with other people, a great social group, deep, meaningful relationships, connection with the society around you. Instead, adult content is a replacement that's far easier to get, but which alienates you from what's truly valuable in life. And companies like MindGeek, the owner of most of the major tube sites, have turned this addictive component into a multi-billion-dollar money machine, using the same techniques and algorithms as sites like TikTok and YouTube. They put the best minds, the most intelligent programmers, psychologists, billions in research and development, and
they put a lot of money into their websites. You know they getting bagged.
Brains and exploit their inner systems, making a generation of wankers. This is one of the largest changes to society we've seen in the 21st century, and we're only now learning what the real consequences are. A shocking 87% of college-age men in America watch adult content, 50% weekly and 20% every single day. And these numbers are only going up. I mean, is it any surprise that nearly a third of young men are now going without intimate contact for years at a time? They're both having their willpower taken away while being offered an
But here's my thing to my niggas out there, like, you don't know where you like your hair that much, nigga, where you can't go out there and want to get some of JJ. Like, bro, there's no way you like your hair that much, bro. Like I said, I don't partake in these activities, you know what I mean? Bro, because it's so easy, bro. I get it. I mean, I'm grown, so it's a little different. But, bro, you could just go out there and get you some, bro. Bro, all you got to do is know how to use your pause. This is going to sound so crazy, so freaking crazy. You just got to know how to use your mouth, bro. No, Diddy. You know what I mean? You just got to know how to talk, bro. You just got to know how to talk, bro. If you know how to talk, bro, you can get you something, man. At any given time. I'm being for real, too. I'm being so honest, bro. I'm not being cocky, none of that, bro. I'm just being real. If you know how to talk, bro, you're going to be able to get you something at any given, at your desire. Anytime you want. You know what I'm saying? So I just can't. I understand that.
An ambition to do great things and accomplish something in your life is being squashed and redirected, all to line the pockets of some shady people at a shady company that nobody's even heard of. Coincidentally, MindGeek recently changed their name to ALO, a few months after a documentary was released on Netflix shining a light on their shady practices. And at the bottom of this pyramid are all the countless stars and performers that produce the content that fuels this money machine, making schoolgirls, normal people, broke people, anyone and everyone to become their own stars and make their own OnlyFans, whilst addicting almost every single man to becoming more disconnected from society. Most of the people who make their way through the industry pipeline come out with a few dollars and a bunch of regrets. Recruiters look for people with troubled backgrounds, who have enough of a negative self-image to consider the work in the first place. But the work never solves their problems, and generally makes them worse. Even the famous and popular performers can easily hit rock bottom once the work
I forgot about her name, bro. What was her?
Like most of the people we've talked about today, Jenny came from humble beginnings. Born in the early 80s, she grew up in Clarksville, a small city in Tennessee, before beginning her career as a model, then as an adult film star. Her looks and her personality quickly caught on in the industry, getting her work in over 100 films to date. From 2003 to 2009, Jenny made a name for herself, rising up the ranks and becoming incredibly popular with fans. Even today, over a decade after she retired, her name is still on the list of top performers on tube sites. And yet despite her work, Jenny got married at just 22 years old, although rather unexpectedly, by 2006, she was divorced from her husband. The question is, where is she now? Well, it's not really a fairy tale ending. After trying to leave the industry in 2009, Jenny Lee moved to Vegas to work as a model, but we can gather that her career didn't actually plan out as expected. She was still allegedly appearing in films all the way until 2016, when she appeared to drop off the face of the earth. That was until 3 years later, when a Dutch film crew exploring the tunnels under Las Vegas inexplicably found her living there in a vast network of homeless people. The brief interview they conducted with her is shocking to watch, but by her own admission, she seems kind of okay with how things turned out.
But I'm happy. I have everything I need here.
Dang,
We saw that
really?
between 1,000 and 1,500 people live in the tunnels under Sin City. Jenny describes their life as hard, but that the shared struggles being a
Look at
sense
her
of community
nails!
amongst the other lost people who made their lives underground. Now, of course, there's a bunch of dangers.
I mean, she happy, but like, what?
And extreme temperatures, not to mention crime. However, since this interview, not much has been known about Jenny's life. She might still be down there, scratching out living amongst other people who don't judge her for her
Bro,
looks
that's
or her
wild.
actions. It should be clear at this point what's going on in the industry. It takes people who are generally already unstable because of their childhoods and lures them in with fast money. They trade away their dignity and their privacy, and even if they're successful, the industry will just spit them out a few years later. This has been going on for decades, but the question still remains, why is it getting worse now? Websites like OnlyFans,
Bro, I was about to say, like, OnlyFans, but you getting that bad too.
And taking it away from a predatory industry, which is a crazy thing to say when these sites are just incentivized.
I say it, bro. Don't, like, if you're a female, bro, don't go be on OnlyFans, bro. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. You're setting yourself up, bro, for future regret and all that, bro. You have to genuinely know you want to do this shit for the rest of your life, man. For the rest of your life, like, you want to blow up and be famous to be known as a, like, you have to want that. Same way I want this, you know what I'm saying, with this YouTube stuff. I want to be known as somebody, bro, like, big on YouTube. Like, you have to want that. If you don't, bro, but you're doing it for that bag, bro, it's gonna turn out ugly, I'm telling you.
People to start becoming online adult stars. And if their claims were actually working, we wouldn't be seeing the disturbing rise in the casualties. Instead, OnlyFans is one small part of a group of problems that are hitting performers one after another.
She killed that man.
Help carry on the work of the tube sites by creating a single global marketplace. While this might sound liberating, in fact, it only makes the competition far harder for actresses that would have had stable deals with production companies just a decade or two before. In the same way that dating apps have made it far harder for men to find someone by giving people so many different options, it's done the same thing to the adult film industry. Then there's all the problems that people working in the industry already faced that have only gotten worse. There may not even be that many more substance abuse issues than there were 5 years ago, but the risks today are far greater. New synthetic drugs, which are both far more potent and far more deadly, have flooded the market and are used to numb the pain and fill the dad-shaped hole left in these stars. And as their drugs get more and more tainted, they need higher doses to even live with their lifestyle choices. It's making the lives of these performers far more dangerous. The mental health crisis that the rest of the world is going through is
all
as
about
bad
the
as in
mental health,
film
man.
industry, if not more so. Performers in the industry get PTSD at 70% of the rate of combat veterans, either from the trauma that brought them to the industry in the first place, or from trauma which happened on set, and even after being on set. At the end of the day, it's an industry of victims. It preys on the weak and broken to make its content, whilst trapping its audience in an addictive cycle. As long as video cameras still exist, the industry isn't going anywhere, but new technologies like AI threaten to change everything. On the one hand, replacing the jobs of performers with AI could ultimately lead to fewer broken lives.
Watching
It would also
AI
make
corn
things
is
far worse
crazy.
for the audience. Giving people access to a
Absolutely
whatever
diabolical.
their desires might be would only make people go further down the addiction rabbit hole. We're already seeing that happen with deepfakes today. With crazy stuff with AOC and Trump together, you can only imagine what sick things will be made in the coming years. And the efforts of some states to ban the content entirely and stop people from accessing it won't work either. Even just banning adult entertainment sites, like the state of Texas did with Pornhub, isn't enough to stop the flood. In the same way that prohibition
Texas
never
did
worked for
ban
drugs or
it.
alcohol or anything else, people always find a way to get access to it if the root problem is still there, if the discontent.
Bro, there's so many ways to, bro, that's because there's so many ways to watch porn, bro. It ain't even just like sites no more, bro. You got Reddit, you got Twitter, you know what I'm saying? You got Telegram, like, you got all these things, bro. Discord, like, you got all these things, bro. You can't shut it down, bro. It's here forever. It is. It's just part of life now at this point. So, bro, we have technology. Before technology, bro, they didn't have none of that. That's what's so crazy. They did not have this shit before phones and shit. Like, so crazy, bro. It's actually insane.
Loneliness, alienation is all pervasive within their society. People will always flock to this content to fill the gaping hole inside of them. In fact, it will completely shut down the kinds of regulation that could actually reduce the harm that the industry causes. The only way for people to really protect themselves is to isolate yourself from it entirely. Breaking that vicious cycle and not fueling an industry that entirely relies on exploitation is the only way to make sure it can't ruin your life.
Yep. Hey, bro. Shout out Moon, man. He spoke literal facts towards the end, too, bro. Like I said, man, the only way to get away from it is just to stop watching. It's always going to be around, though, man. It's sad to hear about with some of these, you know what I'm saying, corner stars and what happened. Especially that dude, man. Like, that's actually very sad, man. I didn't know he passed away, but kudos to him. Kudos to his family. I'm, you know what I'm saying, deeply saddened to even hear that, but this shit just crazy, man. Hey, man, don't get into the industry, bro. For real, man. I don't think any of y'all will benefit from being in that shit. I'm just being real, man. You'll get that cheese, but you won't benefit from it. Just being honest, man. Anyways, man, Trizzy Gang, I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out this bit.